Are you interested in setting your kid up for success so that they don't have to work until they die like a lot of us? Maybe this video will give you the motivation to give it a try and demystify the idea that it costs a lot of money to retire wealthy. Check it out in this video. Thanks for watching. What's up, everybody? This is Jimmy with Trading Decoded, and we are going to start a new series. As many of you know, I day trade SPY, and I try and help other people how to day trade SPY. But as many of you also know, I am a father of four, right? I just recently left my 9-to-5 in September of 2022 to pursue the dream of day trading for a living, to break that mold of you've got to work a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday for your entire life, and that's just the way it is. I, having done it myself currently, am going to try and encourage people to break that mold. Okay, what keeps everybody at their jobs and what keeps everybody in miserable marriages or tough situations that you're not happy with is the comfort that comes with those. And at some point, you've got to remove the fear of being comfortable or uncomfortable and failure from that equation. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the same situation that so many people are in. Okay. For me, I was miserable at my job. I have been doing the same thing since I was 20 years old, and it was in an industry that I truly believe technology is going to make irrelevant. And so I was at the highest pay that I was ever going to get at the company I was with. So with the help of our members and a little bit of stepping out on the edge for myself, I was able to make the transition that I was so afraid to even attempt to try to do in the years leading up to me actually doing it. I'm actually going to start a podcast that's going to base, it's going to be based on the psychology of trading and just overall help, right? Not necessarily in trading, because the things that I would like to talk about and what I like to share with people is it can carry through to many aspects of your life. Okay. Now, where this series that I'm going to call the Divi-Den, Divi-Den, I'm basically one of those people who thinks that I'm too old. I started too late to be able to create a comfortable retirement position for myself and my wife. Being 44 years old, I'll be 45 on April 11th. And if you're just starting for your retirement purposes at that age, the amount of money that you have to put away to comfortably retire is significant. It's high. It's more than most people would be able to afford to do regardless. And I totally get that. I'm very fortunate, but at the same time, I'm fortunate because of a lot of risks that I took when I first started trading, as well as the fact that my in-laws and my family, my inheritance is going to be pretty decent. I don't want to live as if I'm going to, just inherit wealth, but I'm not going to lie and say that that's not coming. Okay. It doesn't mean that I don't want to work equally as hard towards trying to do it, not just for myself, but for my kids. And that's the point of this series. Even if you think it's too late for you to prepare yourself for retirement, if you've got kids, think about you and your situation and use that as motivation to do whatever you can so that your kids don't fall into that same situation. Now, I have 4 children. Okay. I have a step child that I'm about to adopt and 3 biological children of mine. Okay. And it's expensive. It's expensive to have 4 kids. There's no denying that. And, you know, I'm not blaming anybody or anything for what I do or don't have, right? All I can do is work as hard as I can to provide for my family and try and set my children up for success regardless. And the one thing that I want to tell you that I was never told, because if I was, I'd already be living the dream life retired at 45 years old. Okay. If you want to do something amazing for your kids, it doesn't cost a lot of money to be wealthy when you want to retire. I know that sounds crazy and it sounds cliche, but if you're 20 years old and you start putting away $20 a week and you have the traditional growth that the market gives you, you will retire a millionaire easily by the time you're 59 and a half. If you just did it for 25 years with regular compounding growth, you'd have over $1 million in that account. Okay. Now I know almost everybody who would be interested in watching this video can put away $20 a week. I know for a fact that I waste $20 a day on things that I don't need. All right. Sacrifice for your kids so they don't get stuck in that 9-to-5 trap and have to work till they're 80 like so many other Americans or people in general, guys. If you start early, it doesn't have to break the bank to retire wealthy. And the one thing that I want to show you, and this is going to create a lot of hate, and I want to say this right now. This is an experiment that I'm doing. I am not suggesting other people do this. I am not a financial advisor, but I have time. My kids have time. And in my opinion, if I just put money away for them, whether my method of madness is going to, you know, not be as good as somebody else's method, that doesn't matter to me. Okay. My goal in life right now is to become debt-free as quickly as I can, which I've been working on. And then with the money that I'm making in my day-to-day living, trading, my wife's income, all these things, I want to make memories with my family. And then my kids' inheritance will be these accounts that I'm about to show you guys and how I intend on building them over time. Okay. So without getting into the psychological whys, other than what I've already told you as to why I'm doing this, I just want to show you what my plan is. And I will make a short video on 2 occasions. Okay. Every time I deposit money into these accounts, I'll show you what I've done. And every month when they get paid the dividends, I will show you what the account looks like as a result. Okay. And so there will probably be 15 videos per year that I will make in this series, just to give you guys an idea of something that, you know, I haven't been able to find anybody who's doing this. There's a ton of dividend channels out there. And there's a ton of opinions about which dividend stocks you should have. Okay. Well, I'm doing one for science. Okay. I'm doing one that everybody would tell you is a huge no-no, that, you know, everybody says you should diversify and do this and do that. And they may be right. But there are 2 things that you need to be thinking about when you create a dividend portfolio. Okay. Number 1, you either want to invest your money into dividend stocks that will grow over time, right? So the value of the shares increases over time, or you want to focus on increasing the number of shares and collect more dividends per month. Now, my idea is going to be based across 3 Roth IRAs. Okay. One is in my wife's name. One is in my name that will be set up for my kids. and then one is in my oldest son's name, who has a full-time job and contributes to his Roth. Well, I contribute for him, but that's how this works. Now, my plan, and this is the part that people are going to crucify me for, but that's okay. It's not your money, it's mine, and I'm just going to do it and see what happens. Okay, what's the worst that's going to happen? I have a big savings account that doesn't turn into as big as you might think it should have, or whatever the case is. Well, here's the fact of the matter. I'm doing it, and if it works, I'm either going to change the way people look at things, or I'm going to find out the hard way that there was much better ways, and there might be. But there's no harm in trying, right? So for science. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up a summary. Now this is a website called trackyourdividends.com. I do pay an annual fee. It was very low for this, and basically you log into your trading account, whatever it is. In this case, it's the Roths that I have set up, and you basically it just tracks your dividends. Now it lags by about a day. So even though I got the dividend payments for the first month ever yesterday, it didn't show until today's. Okay. So what I want to show you is right now, my son's IRA got topped off at $6,000. So when I say my son's, I say James. Okay. This is the one that's for my other 3 kids that I will designate later. And this is my wife's. Okay. Now, these are static images that I took before the dividend payments, so you guys could see the difference before the first round of dividend payments came in and after, which I'll show you on the live website. So all that I did across all 3 accounts, just so you know, all 3 accounts got fully funded for 2022 at $6,000 each. Okay. In 2023, on Jimmy and Melanie Roths, I haven't contributed any of the $6,500 allowance yet. Okay, I will max them both out this year. James's Roth has contributed a fair amount and still has $1,272 left to contribute before April 18th, I think it is, or April 15th. So his will be maxed out. No, actually, he's already maxed out for last year, so I don't have to rush to get his in. But he only needs $1,272 left in there, and we'll put that in there in the next 2 weeks, okay? But with that, the total, this is the summary of all 3 combined, okay? You've got already a total annual income of $2,591. Now, on a $22,713 total portfolio, I think that's pretty good. And here's the beauty of this, guys. As you know, Roth IRAs are limited to the amount of money you can put in them per year, okay? But they're not limited in the amount of growth that could take place within them, right? So my thought process is this. I'm going to do James's Roth, my oldest son's, full JEPI. Now, I know, it's a dividend trap, blah, 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 blah. So what? Let's just see how fast we can grow the number of shares, because what I'm looking for is all these are set to drip, meaning every dividend payment that comes in, it just adds and buys more shares of whatever I tell it to. Okay. So with James, it will be all JEPI. With the one that's named Jimmy, it's going to be XYLD, all XYLD. And the one that's labeled Melanie, my wife, will be a 50-50 split of JEPI and XYLD. Now, the way I think I'm going to do that split account is year 1, I'll buy all JEPI shares. Year 2, I'll buy all XYLD. Okay? And we're just going to track them and see where they go and see how it plays out. Now, I will keep this series going. I will max them out for as long as I can. I will tell you guys if anything changes in that respect, but I think it's going to be a pretty cool thing to watch happen. And the whole point of the entire thing is that if you start early and you're able to put away money, I want you to see the potential growth capabilities of these in 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, 25 year horizons. Okay. So I'm going to go through these static images real quick for you guys. This is the total of the portfolios combined pre yesterday's dividend payments. Okay. We had 417 shares at an average price of $54.30. This is just telling you the change, I guess, since I bought them overall. I'm sorry, this is the current price. The profit loss, it shows 22,643 because, well, I just imported this just, I don't know, a week and a half ago. So it's counting all of it as profit loss. The yield right now is 11.44%, and the annual income is $2,591.37 based on the current yield of JEPI. Now, I did say that I was going to do one account, all XYLD. I haven't made that purchase yet. I wanted to wait for the first payout of dividends from JEPI on the Jimmy Roth. And then come Monday, since I got those, I will sell those JEPI shares and I will buy all of the XYLD that I could afford to buy. Okay. So for right now, this is all JEPI currently, a total of 417 shares. And that's for the entire 3 accounts. Now, this is James's account, which has the most money in it. He only has $1,272 left to contribute. So when I first started this, he had an even 200 shares, and his annual income on that is $1,243. Now, knowing you could only put 6,000 last year, 6,500 in this year, if you're able to add, I would imagine that number is going to be closer to $1,300 when I max out for him this year, maybe even $1,350. That's pretty good added. You know, JEPI stock shares, they don't move much in value. Okay, so I'm not looking for the growth of the share price itself. I'm looking for that annual income number to become something north of $150,000 per year that you should be able to comfortably live on if you've done everything else properly leading up to your retirement age. Okay, i.e., didn't live in debt your whole life, paid off all of your expenses. Okay. If you don't have a mortgage payment and you don't have a car payment and you don't have credit cards up to your eyeballs, you should be able to comfortably live easily on $150,000 a year. Easy. And on a 25-year growth rate of what these shares will accumulate over time, that number is extremely low. It will be way higher than $150,000, and he'll only be 46 years old at that time. And it's in a Roth. Okay, so the beauty of the Roth is you're not mandated to take out any contributions. So if you choose to continue to work, you keep maxing this thing out, you're going to be extremely comfortable in your early years. Okay, and that's the dream for me. I might not be around to see my kids live that life. Hopefully I'm alive when my kids are 45. And hopefully they're not having to work when they get there unless they want to. There is a beauty in being able to work because you want to versus because you have to. And if I could provide the ability for that to be the case for them when they're my age now, 100% I'll do it. Okay, I can find $80 a week to put away. Now I'm putting in way more per week into these accounts. Okay, I'm maxing them out, but it doesn't take much to be able to allow your kids to live a comfortable life. Okay, so that's James's. He has at this time had 200 shares, and he was currently making $1,242 a year on those shares. Okay, the next one. This is the one I started contributing to for my other 3 kids that they don't have jobs yet, so that's why it's in my name. But the this will be theirs. So this has the max from last year, and originally it was holding VTI shares, which lost some money. Okay. So it should be closer to $6,000 if you didn't do anything but just deposit the max. But because it lost money on VTI shares, it sits at 57.75 or 57.75, I think is what it was when I started to put it into JEPI. I currently have 106 shares of JEPI in there, which yields right now $659. Now I still have $6,500 worth of money to put back into this account for this year. And so in the next video, those JEPI shares will be XYLD in this particular account. Okay, so we'll see how that one grows over time. Finally is the Melanie Roth. This one has 111 shares of JEPI. $6,000 from last year was contributed, and now $6,500 additional dollars for this year will be added as well. And I will buy XYLD shares with that $6,500 because the $6,000 from last year bought all JEPI, and now $6,500 for this year will buy all XYLD, and that will be that. So she's making $690 a year on year one with a $6,000 investment. And now to the actual after dividends, okay? So after dividends, James now has, the entire account now has 420.42 shares in it. Okay, this was originally what? Please hold. This was originally 417 shares. Okay, so 417 shares. The yield was $25.91. And now we have 420 shares. So we got 3.42 shares on the first month of dividend reinvestment. And we went from $25.91 per year to $26.13 per year. Okay. And so that is, that's what's going on with that. Now for James's, he's at $12.53 annual income currently after he got 1.64 shares in his account. And he was at $12.43 annual before. Now he's at $12.53. Okay. And then the Jimmy Roth is now at $6.64, and it was $6.59. And then Melanie's was $6.90 prior to the dividend payment, and now it's $6.95. Okay, so she gained 0.91 shares because she didn't have enough in dividends to buy a full share. Neither did this one. I got 0.87 shares. But nonetheless, guys, I'm just going to track this and see how it goes. Now, there's no diversification. It's these are managed covered called ETFs that I'm putting these money in. So my goal is dividend growth, not share price growth, because the argument is if you get like a SCHD or something like that, it grows over time, right? And you accumulate wealth in the share price. And then if you want to, when you retire, you could sell those shares and then buy a high yield dividend stock so that your dividend payments are larger. Okay. I'm going the opposite way. I'm going to try it with buying low price shares that are not volatile, that don't move much, but allowing myself to accumulate more and more shares every year so that my dividend grows, which allows me to accumulate even more shares over time. Again, this is within a Roth. So I want the growth of the Roth to continue to grow because I can't contribute more cash to it. So that is what this series is going to be on. Again, it's not going to be a video every day. It's just going to be a video based on anytime I deposit money into it for the calendar year, every 6th of the month when the dividend payments are made. And I'll make the video when I switch over on the Jimmy Roth from JEPI to XYLD. And that's it. So if you guys are interested in this video, stick around. I'm very curious to see how it goes. I know I'm going to get flamed in the comments because they're going to say you're not diversifying. It's a dividend trap, whatever the case is. And it's not your money. So don't worry about it. I'll be the guinea pig and we'll see how it goes. with that, we're going to wrap it up. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Spend some time with your friends and family. You got Easter on Sunday. And for those of you who are in our Discord community, I will see you guys on Monday so we can make more money. And yeah, have a good one. I love you guys. See ya.